Okay, hello everybody. This is Bill from turboDial, and in this video we'll do an overview of the feature called Enhanced Call Handling. This is an optional add-on if you have turboDial Sales Pro. Now, Enhanced Call Handling comes with three features: Call Hold, Call Conference, and Warm Transfer. This is an optional add-on, as I mentioned, and you can get these features by upgrading to include the add-on in your turboDial management account at this location. And then once you've upgraded to include these features, you'll find a new tab called the Calls tab. Here it is right here in the lower left quadrant of your turboDial panel. And that's where you would access these features. We're calling these the base features because there's also some bonus features. If you also have the Enhanced Inbound add-on, then Enhanced Call Handling and Enhanced Inbound combine together to give you some bonus features. If you have Enhanced Inbound, then after you're done watching this video, you should go and look for the other one that covers the bonus features. So now let's go through each of them. So all of the features associated with Enhanced Call Handling will be found right here in the Calls tab. And what you'll see is a Hold button. That's where you can place a call on hold. A Conference button. And also your holding calls list. This will be a list of any length which you'll be able to scroll through to see the calls that you currently have on hold. And in that holding calls list, for each call you'll see who the call is to, their name and their phone number, the caller ID that they see when you call them, and the current number of seconds that that call has been on hold. Now let's go through how to put a call on hold. First of all, let's assume that you are starting out and you've got an outbound call active and you're talking to somebody. Now you need to put them on hold. Well, it's as simple as just simply clicking the hold button. When you do that, you're going to be immediately disconnected from that call and you're no longer on a call. The other person, though, that you've been talking to, they'll start hearing music on hold. Your call will also show up now in this holding calls list. It may be the only one there if you haven't placed any other calls on hold. And then also at that time, the note record associated with that call will be finalized. It will be saved. On the title of that note record, it will have the phrase transferred to hold or conference appended to the title, and the duration and recording link on that note record will also be saved. You can reconnect then to a call that is on hold very simply. First of all, if you start out having at least one call on hold, you can have more than one on hold, but reconnecting is simple. You simply click on the call on the body right here in the holding calls list. Click on the call that you want to reconnect to. As soon as you do that, that call is going to disappear from the holding call list. You will hear the phrase connected, and then you can begin speaking to the other person. Now notice that you can actually reconnect to the call using a different calling device than the one you started out with. For example, you may have started out your call using the soft phone in your browser, but if you put it on hold, you could now reconnect that call back using your cell phone. We'll demonstrate that. Let's go through and see these capabilities demonstrated. Here we have a turboDial panel right next to an Infusionsoft listing of contacts. And you can see that turboDial is currently looking at Alan Bradford, which is the second contact right here. I'm going to make a call to Alan Bradford. Okay, got that call to Alan Bradford, and you can see it's running right there. We're going to put it on hold. All right, now that call is immediately disconnected as soon as I press the hold button, and then the call appearance shows up right here in the holding calls list, and you can see it's holding for 11 seconds, 12 seconds, and so on. Now, if I put that on speakerphone, you'll also be able to hear the music that they're hearing. So that call is on hold. I can reconnect to it quite simply just by clicking the button. I hear the phrase connected, and now I'm reconnected and talking to that person again. Let's put it back on hold for a second. Now let's go over here and change the calling device. I originated that call using my soft phone. Let's change it to cell phone. And I'm going to reconnect again. Now it's going to bring that call in on a different phone. So it's ringing that phone, connecting to that phone, and now those two calls are connected together. And now I've moved that call from my soft phone to my cell phone. I can put it back on hold again, put you on speakerphone so you can hear. That call's back on hold. Change this back to this PC and reconnect. All right, so I've terminated that call, but it's quite simple to show you. You can just easily go from an active call to a call on hold to reconnecting to a call. Okay, so that's the operation for holding and reconnecting to a call. Now let's talk about conference. With a conference, you can put 2 or 3 or 4 or more calls into the same conversation. If you want to start a conference, you must have at least 2 calls underway. That means you could have 1 call active and 1 or more call holding, or you could have no calls active and 2 or more calls holding. Because a conference is going to be a minimum of 3 people having a conversation. That's you and the 2 other calls. It's again just a simple one click. When you're ready to start your conference, if you've got your calls holding and active, you can click conference button right here. You will be immediately disconnected from any active call, and that active call will be added to your holding calls list right here. You will hear creating a new conference, and then all of the calls in this holding list will be joined into that conference. They'll all disappear from your holding calls list. All of the parties will hear a join beep, and then at that point can begin speaking. And if any party then leaves the conference, everyone will hear a leave beep that indicates someone has left the conference. As soon as you've made a conference, notice that it's quite simple to do a warm transfer. A warm transfer is simply connecting 2 people together in a conference with you, and then you hang up. So if you have an active outbound call to begin with, you can put that call on hold and then move turboDial to the contact you want to transfer that call to. You click the call button to call that contact. Of course, when they answer, you're going to want to explain to them that you're about to transfer a call to them. You can then click the conference button, and now everyone is in the call together, and you can provide any introduction between the other parties that you might need, and then you can hang up. And as soon as you disconnect, the other parties can continue their conversation without you. You've now transferred that call as a warm transfer from you to another contact. Let's demonstrate that. Let's call Alan. And now I'm going to put Alan on hold. And we're going to find Alex. I want to transfer Alan to Alex. So let's call Alex. Okay, now I'm talking to Alex. I have an active conversation going with Alex while Alan is on hold. I can, at this point, simply hit the conference button. But I have a choice here. I could also put Alex on hold and add a 3rd person or even a 4th person and so on. At this point, if I'm ready to have the conference, I can just press the conference button.
Beginning a new conference.
Okay, everybody has now been added to the conference, and I've got 3 parties in this conference. I can make whatever introductions I need, and at this point, if I'm going to do a warm transfer, all I need to do is disconnect, and Alan and Alex are now talking to each other and can continue that conversation. So I'll do that. Okay, that conversation continues between Alan and Alex. I successfully transferred the call. So some other items to note. For any call that you make, the duration and the recording URL for that call is saved to the note record when that call is ended. Or if you also have enhanced call handling, that same thing is true when the call is placed on hold or when the call is joined to a conference. When a call comes off hold or when it joins to a conference, it does not result in further updates to the note record. That note record was finalized when it initially went on hold. The recording also does not continue at that point. That recording was finalized at the first point it went on hold. Now, if you have somebody that you've been talking to and then you put them on hold and then for whatever reason they decide not to continue holding and they just hang up, you'll find that that call in the holding calls list will just disappear and you won't be able to reconnect to it again. Okay, everybody, so that's the enhanced call handling feature. It includes these 3 base features: call hold, call conference, and warm transfer. And if you also have the enhanced inbound add-on, you can look for the additional video that walks through the bonus features that come with a combination of these 2. Thanks, everybody. Happy calling.